There used to be a time when I would start off my ghost tours this way. I would ask people to look down and make sure that they and the person they were sitting next to had feet below their knees. And then I'd ask people to poke the person next to them to make sure that they were absolutely flesh and blood. And everybody thought it was funny, it was a good way to break the ice, but there was a reason I did that. That's because at particular times on my ghost tours, there were people who attended that turned out to be ghosts themselves. The first night it happened, when the old Ghost Hunters bus tour was still happening, we stopped at a store, let's say somewhere in Kahala. That's where people used to take a break and go get some snacks until we headed on toward Kalanianaole. That one particular night on that tour, I noticed a local Japanese woman who wore black slacks, flats on her feet, a white blouse, pearl necklace, and a black sweater. Her hair was short, and she had these unusual pearl earrings. And she didn't say anything. She just blended in with the group and, walked wherever we walked and stood wherever everybody else was standing. But then when we got to this store in the Wailai Kahala area, there was a story that I told about a woman with no face. And during the telling of that story, I began to notice her, really notice her for some reason. She stood there with her arms crossed like this and just looking down, almost like she was thinking to herself. And then she looked at me, nodded her head. The story was over, and then I said to everybody, okay, before we get on the bus, everybody take a break, go buy some snacks, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes transpired. Everybody got on the bus, and it was starting to roll out. But then I yelled at the bus driver, wait, hold on. We forgot somebody. And we waited, and minutes passed, and this woman we were waiting for never showed up. In fact, people on the bus became impatient, and they asked me, what are we waiting for? And I told them, we're waiting for that lady. And they said, oh, what lady? I said, the local Japanese lady, black slacks, the shoes, the sweater, the white blouse, the pearls, the strange looking earrings, the short black hair. And I pointed to the back of the bus. It was the seat toward my left, second to the last, toward the back. And I said that's where she was sitting the whole night. And people who were sitting around that area, that general area, said, there's nobody like that on this tour the whole night. You told us to stay in the seats we were sitting in. We kept those seats, but we never saw the person you were describing. At that point, I thought I was absolutely crazy. But I swore up and down this person was on the tour because I saw them, or her, with my own eyes. But that's not the first time that happened. A little while back, we were fortunate enough to have a ghost tour in a particular area that nobody really had access to. And this is why I'm not describing the place. But what I will tell you is while that tour was going on, periodically I would stop and I would say, I thought we had more people on the tour. Is this all we have? And I think we amounted to 16, but I swore we had at least 15 more. In fact, one night, on a tour like that, in that same location, but another time, the woman who worked in the office looked very scared, very shook up when we returned, and she told us, I saw all of you outside the door on the security camera, and I thought, well, that tour is over pretty quick. They got back pretty fast. But when I went out the door into the lobby, nobody was there. And she told us the exact time she saw myself in the group, and I told her, absolutely, we were down in the area where the ghost tour was happening. And so apparently, this woman saw our doppelgangers, our exact doubles. And so, if you ever come on any of my future ghost tours and you begin to hear me say, everybody look down, make sure you got feet below your knees, poke the person next to you, make sure they're flesh and blood. Take out your compact mirrors, ladies. Hold it underneath the nose of the person sitting next to you. And when they exhale, make sure it forms the white film of breath on the mirror. Because if it doesn't happen, you have a spirit or a ghost right next to you. When you start to hear me say those things, that's probably when you yourself have to start to panic. Because we probably have a ghost on the tour.